Hello, everyone. Patricia Wagner here for the Living in Heart Center Gratitude private Facebook group. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing our guest speaker, Laura Doman. Laura, welcome.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here. We're going to just gain so much information from what you have to share. Before Laura shares with us, I want to read her bio. Laura Doman, I'm pronouncing that correctly, am I?
You're right. Doman
Laura
with,
Doman
yep.
is an actor, voice artist, and communication strategist who helps entrepreneurs, executives, and speakers become more believable, trusted, and authentically connected on camera, on stage, and in everyday conversations that matter most. Blending professional acting technique with communication strategy, Laura teaches what she calls the believability edge, the ability to move beyond sounding polished or scripted and instead communicate with genuine human presence. Her work helps clients stop hiding behind performance mode so they can show up with greater confidence, authenticity, and emotional connection in a world increasingly dominated by screens and AI generated content. After reinventing herself from the corporate world into a creative career in acting, voiceover, speaking, and coaching, Laura now brings both business insight and performance expertise to her work. She believes that trust is built not just through what we say, but through how genuinely we connect, and that authentic presence has become one of the most valuable skills of our time. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you.
So I actually, I'd love to know, just out of curiosity, how you got into acting and all of that. But most of all, I would love for you to be able to share ways that we members in our group, myself definitely included, um, because we have so many entrepreneurs and thought leaders and business owners who have messages to share and want to be heard and be the most effective we can be. So please share how we can be effective and, like you say, maintain that presence and that interconnection with our audiences.
Well,
So I'm going to just,
I'm going to take that second part first
okay.
because everybody in your group is there for a reason. After all, there's something that you want to share. You've got an expertise, an experience, and the world needs you. The world wants you, and it's just waiting for you to show up and be available. And the best way we could do that these days is by showing up online. It's a lot easier to reach more people that way, and it doesn't matter whether it's live or it's recorded. But to allow that human essence, the real part of you that wants to help, that genuine, authentic self, that's what it's all about. That's the slow reveal. That's what my work is all about. It's not performance. We're not being a stage diva here. It's doing what actors learn to do in front of the camera, behind the mic. Be a real person sharing with like one special person what is so important, and really taking that intention and our essential message and not worrying about anything else in the world but to give it to you. So that's the second part. Going back to the first part. How did I get here? Because, yeah, it's a natural progression to go from IT sales directly into acting, right? Probably not. Well, I've always had twin paths. Maybe it's because I'm a Gemini and I like doing more than one thing at a time. But I always had a very creative streak as well as a business calling, if you will. And for the creativity, I was always as a kid on stage. I was doing the morning announcements in high school. I did speech competitions. I was writing. I did art, all that. But I love business. And I came from a very practical family that said, we're not paying for an artist journey here. So I was okay with it because I wanted to make money and I was ambitious. And I thought, let me start with that. And I did do that. And I brought in all that theatrical aspect of myself into my presentations and balanced it that way. Later on, when I moved into sales and I had more free time in my schedule, I actually started pursuing acting on the side professionally. I was doing some commercials, film, TV, a few industrials, which is like a video for a corporation, and had a great time. It came to a halt though when I had my child, and things topsy-turvy and my priorities changed. But later on I decided it's time to do what I really want to do in life, because my way of looking at things is when I'm permanently horizontal right before I'm on my deathbed, and I don't want to regret not trying, not doing, being told that you can't, I just thought I'm going to just dive into it, take the bull by the horns and go. And that's what I did. I started brushing up on the training. I got myself an agent. I started booking and had a great time. And from there I moved into voiceover, which thanks to the internet became much more doable technically and economically. And then during COVID, I saw, well, there are a lot of business people who need to be on camera themselves because that's where the meetings are. Videos are more and more important, but they didn't know how to use the medium. They weren't showing up well. Nobody was listening. They couldn't get the equipment going. They felt strange and uncomfortable. So that's the space I've moved into. So I work with individuals, coaches, speakers, entrepreneurs, even executive business leaders. I also work in groups, but it's the same message of coming forward, teaching you how to really use this medium to your own advantage and just come across as the amazing human beings you are. So that's a bit of a long story.
Laura, thank you. That was very valuable and delightful to listen to you. I mean, you really have it down pat. What you're walking the talk of what you're sharing with us
I
because
love it.
you are very engaging
Well,
just to
thank
listen.
you. Thank you.
So, I like to tell stories. What
Mm,
could you tell me would be the best way to prepare myself when I want to create a video and share a
yes.
story?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. You couldn't be a better straight woman if I had asked you to. Stories are underneath everything. I mean, from the times we were just sitting around campfires, because that's all we had, people were telling stories, the histories, the traditions that were passed orally, and it's still the way we respond. I mean, somebody could drone on and on and on, and we'll be nodding off, but you tell a story, and oh my gosh, we're there. So when you're creating a video or a speech or anything else, think of it almost as a series of stories. You got something you want to say. I would suggest kind of mock up or write up. You can even use ChatGPT just to give yourself some structure, but don't go any farther than that with it. And figure out what it is that you're trying to say. And then see what all the major points are and insert a story. You might end up having, let's say, half a dozen great stories, and you could put them in different orders. Or you might even have more stories, and depending on your message and who you're talking to, some are more important than others. So when I'm creating a video, I try to keep it simple because people have a very short attention span. And most of the videos these days people will watch are very short. And I've made videos as short as 4 seconds. I can tell you a little bit about them. They're funny little things. But the point of it is, it's one topic, one thought, one idea, and not to get too overblown. Now, if you're going to be putting something in like a class, a 30-minute talk, or like what we're doing today, usually they're going to be 3 to 5 points, but keep it simple. And then have a story tied to each one. Because people aren't going to remember your bullet points. They are going to remember your stories. And those are the ones that even if you lose contact with them down the road, they'll say, you're the one that was talking about the train wreck. I remember you. And all of a sudden the barriers fall away and you're back into a conversation.
Laura, that was excellent. Thank you. We have events that take place in our group, and I'm starting an event, a monthly event called Co-Creating Heaven on Earth.
Oh,
So I'm inviting everyone, you don't have to even be a member of our Living in Hearts and a Gratitude group, to come on and share through a Zoom call with me the ways that each person has intentionally decided to co-create heaven on earth. We
Mm.
also have epiphanies at the beginning of the month in our group and also a heart math event at the end. So there are now three um, videos that we create each month for members and others to share in that. So your points are really valuable for us to learn how to best become effective in communicating what it is we have to share.
Well, thank you. And you've got a wonderful community, and the value that you're offering, giving people a chance to voice what is in their heart, it's marvelous.
We love it. We love and it's a very active membership. So we just love what we're doing and the messages that we share with one another. So, is there anything else that you'd like to really emphasize for us to
Hmm.
become more effective? Please.
Yes, I would love to. I could go on and on and on and on, but we only
Oh,
have a short time. Let me just kind of tell you one of my very favorite tips. When you are trying to speak on camera, and again, it doesn't matter if it's a Zoom call or it's a video recording, speak to one person because guess what? The camera is really a one-to-one conversation. You're not presenting in front of a large group of people. Most of us are watching it one-on-one, sometimes on screens as small as our mobile phones. And we're listening. And so when you speak one-to-one to somebody, it changes things. You're not presenting, you're not performing, you're connecting, you're communicating. Your voice drops, you become a little bit more comfortable. You let your personality out. Like me, I always like to bring some humor in, and you get to see that. And I don't feel like the bar is way above my head, I'll never meet it. No, I'm talking to you, Patricia. I'm talking to whoever else is in your audience. And it makes such a big difference. So what do you do if you don't have anybody on the side of that camera? Well, you don't know what you're doing. Here's a hint. Maybe take a photo of somebody you care about and put it right next to your camera and talk to them. Or have somebody in mind, like maybe like your ideal client, and just know that they love what you're saying. Everything is what they have to have. They're leaning in and they're enthusiastic and they're nodding, and speak from that. Now sometimes it's a little bit harder. Let's say you're in a Zoom call and you got all these bright shiny faces. Oh, we got Sally down there and Susie up there and there's Charlie. Where do we go? Well, you got to be a little careful here. The connection is through the camera. It might still be one-on-one even if there are all these people live. You could take a look at them in their little boxes, but then turn and talk to the camera. And if you want a little more advanced technique about how to be able to bring it all together so you can have their Zoom boxes right behind the camera as they pop up, that's another story. We can always go into that in more detail. But the point of it is, talk to the camera. Do not use a script. Nobody likes being read to unless you're a small child at bedtime. Your voice changes. It's not engaging. And if we just want information, my gosh, we got AI for that. Tell a story. Be yourself. Talk like a friend. And all of a sudden, you're going to make a huge difference on camera.
Thank you, Laura. You work with individuals and you said also with small groups?
Yeah. Right now I go into masterminds. I've gone in person to companies working in workshops and presentations and all sorts of things, even lunch and learns. But principally I work one-to-one with people right now just because everybody is so different. And I could tell you about some of my clients and they're like night and day, but they have the same issues. They're just approaching it differently.
And so how would someone reach you?
Well, let me give you a few ideas. I'm not going to go overboard here. But first of all, my website, the name is Laura Doman. Guess what it is? LauraDoman.com. Bingo. You'll also find me on LinkedIn, and I even have a newsletter there. Now, on my website, I've got a blog where I give all kinds of tips and advice, and I talk about my master classes. But if it's okay as well, Patricia, may I offer a free gift to your community?
Absolutely. We love gifts.
Great. Who doesn't? They're so exciting. Anyways, this is very easy, and you get it from my website. And you can put it in the show notes below, but I can also just kind of tell you what it is because it's not that hard. It's my name, lauradoman.com/gift. And what it is lights, camera, clients. They're my 10 favorite ways to really get comfortable, confident, and charismatic on camera And I promise you they will make a difference. So you can just download it and enjoy.
Thank you so much. I know that all of our members who hear this video will be downloading that. So thank you. Thank you.
My
And
pleasure.
do you have a YouTube channel that you've
I do, and I've got lots of videos on there.
okay.
I like to keep them in playlists. So, for example, if you want to just get some tips for being on camera confident, I have, I don't even know, maybe about 150 short videos. Each one is only a minute long. I try to keep myself to under a minute. And it talks about one thing, like I mentioned, like how to sound engaging on camera or where to look. I also have a little longer version, which is the landscape, the horizontal, and that's maybe 2 to 5 minutes. And if you want to know how YouTube can make a video that's only 4 seconds long and get eyeballs on it, check out My Momisms playlist. Let me tell you this. All right, Patricia, you've been on vacation, right? You,
Yes.
you go into those gift shops and you know how you see those funny sayings on cocktail napkins and towels and everything?
Mhm.
Well, I've been taking notes for years and I've been making each one of them a little video. I'll just give you an example of one. My very first one of my favorites because it touches me. It's where I live. It's chocolate. I actually am in my kitchen wearing an apron, stirring up some chocolate brownies, and just look up and just say, hey, good moms let you lick the beater. Great moms turn it off first. Funny little things, but they get attention. And it's not hard. And it shows personality. And everybody could do that based on what you're talking about. So if you are a spiritual coach, you can have little motivations, inspiring quotes, thoughts of the day, all kinds of fun things. And it doesn't have to be fancy. And it's not going to be perfect. You don't want perfect. Let AI be perfect. They're boring. We are going to be messy and natural and fun and human. And let it go and put it on YouTube or some other place so people can find you.
Oh, Laura, you're delightful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I love talking with you.
I'm going to be spending some time on YouTube looking at your videos.
It's
I think
easy to
you'll find
find.
it there.
Yeah,
Yes.
just go to youtube.com and then you have to do after the backslash, the at sign, Laura
Mhm.
Doman. Super
Okay.
easy.
And Laura Doman is spelled Laura. Doman is Doman,
Think of
right?
Roman with a D.
Okay. All right. Laura,
No toga required.
thank you so much for
Oh,
offering this uh, to our Living in Hearts and a Gratitude group. We appreciate it immensely. And I'm heading over to YouTube right after you
wonderful.
share.
Anytime. I love to speak more with your community or one on one, so I'm here.
All right. Thank you. We'll take you up on that offer. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. And bye for now.
Bye bye.